So I've just been watching Jordan Peterson on YouTube talking to a feminist and examining feminist propositions and showing how backward and how silly and how prejudiced those opinions are. And it amazes me about, I would say, the vast majority of women who I would think would describe themselves as feminists. It amazes me that these women have these thoughts and see men as some kind of oppressors throughout history, and that men have had things due at the expense of women over time, and that women dominate. Women are dominated by men. And even a cursory glance at how history has operated and how men have fared throughout history makes it absolutely clear that men have not had things good at the expense of women. I really fail to understand how women can look at present day society, or look at other countries, or look at history, and claim that men have it good at the expense of women in some way. It's absolutely outrageous and backward and evil to think this way. It completely disregards the men's experience in history and in the present day. It's so awful and so prejudiced and so self-interested and basically evil mentality that women exhibit. And I don't know how to fix this, because if women could actually believe that men have somehow had it good throughout history and in the current day, whereas women face oppression and lack of opportunity and all kinds of prejudices against women, is so outrageously false, and it's obviously false and demonstrably false. Yet women still adhere to this mentality, and I don't know how this can be, and I don't know how to fix it, because the evidence is plain to see. With the vast majority of homeless people being men, the vast majority in prison are men, the vast majority of people who are economically deprived are men. I don't know if I said already, but the vast majority of homeless are men. There are so many areas where men fare worst, and the whole of society is geared towards the provision of care and support for women. That's why we have the expression women and children to the lifeboats first. We have that basic mentality that says women come first. And women have taken this mentality and abused it and accused men of some kind of benefits simply by being a man throughout history. And it's obviously false and demonstrably false, yet women still cling to this idea. Alexa off. But Alexa off. But women have clung to this mentality throughout history, and it's basically evil and horrible. And myself, for example, I've decided to no longer pursue women for an intimate relationship. I don't want to have a relationship with women, particularly women as they are today. I simply don't want to know. I think it's healthier for me to avoid women and not have intimate relationships. I've done marriage and children, and I've learned to my cost how ill-advised it is to invest in a woman emotionally or romantically. So I'm thinking that change will happen in society, and women will become far less appealing to men as time goes on, and deservedly so. The world is changing and the world has to change, and it's the way things should happen. And I'm completely confused and enraged, basically, at women's self-obsession. That they care for only their own needs and own wants, and they perceive history through a feminist lens, which is wildly incorrect, wildly out of focus.